are so excited to be introducing our new Women in Technology and Diversity and Inclusion program at IAUG. We are here today to chat with IAUG's board members Lori Woodrich and Oscar Moncada about some of the upcoming offerings we have within this program and some ways you can get involved. I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so thank you so much, Oscar and Lori, for joining us. We really appreciate it. Would you both mind going ahead and introducing yourselves to everyone? Oscar, why don't you go first?
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Oscar Moncada, and I'm the president of IAUG. And in my spare time, I'm the director of IT operations at Tesla.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lori Woodrich. I am vice president of IAUG, and I'm happy to be here today. We're excited to talk about a new value add for our members.
Great, thank you. So, Oscar, we'll start out with you. So, why don't you tell us a little bit more about IAUG's Empowering Inclusion in IT initiative?
Sure. So, with the last Engage in Phoenix, we saw quite strong demand with the Women in Technology initiative. So, we have a international membership. So, we thought it would be important to expand on all the other diversity and inclusion initiatives, which we're gonna start slow, but we're gonna build quite a few groups to encapsulate everybody in the membership.
Sure. And why do you think this initiative is important for IAUG?
Sure. It just it provides an opportunity to provide unique and relevant content to members, and it'll engage individuals who may not be very involved with IAUG as it is. As you know, we have local chapters, we have virtual, we have Engage. So, there'll be something available for everybody.
Sure. And Lori, we'll kind of switch over into talking a little bit about our Women in Technology offering that we are working on launching. So why don't you go ahead and kind of explain what this group is and how we developed it and evolved it into where we're at today?
Sure. Yeah. So, one of the things I love about IAUG is we are a technical user group, but we're not just all about tech. And so I think, having such strong networking and relationships and the, all the different factors that we have within an IAUG membership, having this diversity and inclusion as a backdrop is really important. And so as a piece of that, we have developed a Women in Technology group. And, as Oscar mentioned at Engage this year, we held a Women in Tech event. And, the last couple of years when we've been planning Engage, we've said, we should do a Women in Tech event at conference, and it just didn't happen. And so this year we're like, hey, we're doing it and we're going to make this happen. And we actually partnered with Avaya to host a luncheon in Phoenix. And it was one of those things, as we're planning, we were like, are people going to come? Are people going to be interested? And boy, did we get a good response. And so registration filled up almost immediately. There was a wait list. And then even the day of the event, there were kind of people like trying knocking down the door to attend this luncheon. And so that kind of told us, hey, our IAG membership really wants this type of forum. And I want to mention here, even though it's called Women in Tech, we do encourage and welcome our male members to participate. There were a few that attended the luncheon and they said they got so much out of it and they found it so beneficial. So, I want them to know that, hey, even though this is a Women in Tech group, they are encouraged to participate in the Women in Tech events. But, people left at lunch, they just felt really inspired. And so HQ put together a committee. It's a great team of people, and we're really working hard to bring, those networking and growth opportunities to our members.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add on that, regardless of the program, regardless of what resource group we're going to have, everybody will be invited. I mean, there's going to be interesting topics and conversations. And to add to Lori's point, it was just interesting to hear the stories from all these women and just some, their career paths to where they got today.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, definitely. I was there for part of it, and it was awesome to see how many people were interested. There were people lining the walls in the room. We were having a hard time making sure that we had people in the appropriate places. So Lori, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about what the Women in Tech group has planned for fall of 2020 going into winter of 2020?
Sure, sure. We have coming up quickly here, we have our leading edge virtual workshops. It just so happens that Avaya also launched a Women in Tech group in the last year. The name of their Women in Tech group is the Women's Inspired Network. And so this leading edge series that we're going to provide for our members, they provided to their Women's Inspired Network, and they kind of were able to connect us with 304 coaching. So, we're very appreciative and thankful to Avaya for getting us this training. But these workshops start October 8th. The first one is building your leadership brand. The workshops are going to be every other Thursday for 4 series. And so, like I mentioned, the first one's October 8th. They're going to be at 11 a.m. Central Time. And then on October 22nd, there will be one on engaging your team. And then November 5th will be growing your relationships through conversation. And then it'll round out on November 19th with unleashing the power of your network. And I think that's the one I'm most excited about. You hear all the time, like, oh, you got to develop your network, got to have a professional network. And in this session, they're actually going to give you those steps on how do you do that. And so these are going to be very interactive workshops. They're not just webinars. And so I do encourage everyone to attend if they can. And if you can't get to them all, get to the ones you can, because I do think they're going to be really beneficial. And then, once those round out at the end of November, the committee, we're going to start planning what we kind of want to do for the Women in Tech group is kind of develop a forum almost like a chapter meeting. And so those will probably start next year, and we'll maybe do them 3 or 4 times a year. But it'll be like a virtual chapter meeting, and it'll be a meetup, and sometimes it'll just be informal discussions. Sometimes it'll be a specific topic. We might have a speaker come in, and so it'll be kind of different content each time. But we do want to kind of create that camaraderie that you get in a chapter meeting. And then another thing that we are discussing, so at that luncheon, one of the major topics was mentors, having a mentor or being a mentor. And so we're working on how could we create a mentorship program within IAUG. And so that's something that's not, fully developed yet, but we're having discussions around, and most likely it will be, hey, our senior IAUG members or our people who are very senior in their careers can put in to be a mentor, and then some of either a new member or people new to technology could put in to be a mentee. And then we will provide some framework around, here are some suggested roles and ways to be a mentor and ways to be a mentee and develop that relationship. But then it'll kind of come down to the people who get paired up to really flourish that relationship and kind of take it where they want to.
Yeah, that sounds great. I know at that meeting we had at conference this past year, a lot of the focus was on mentorship and finding a mentor and how to really become a good mentee and be a mentor. So I'm really excited that our team and your team are working together to kind of create that outlet and form that possibility for our members. I think that's going to be a huge value to members. And I know a lot of people are looking for that kind of relationship. So I think that's awesome. So where might people go to learn a little bit more about the Women in Technology group, or have a discussion with somebody, or learn more about how they can get involved with the group and the team?
So there's a couple ways. The first is get registered for those leading edge workshops. And if you go to iug.org and there's on the Learn tab at the top, if you go to Learn and then you click on the live webcast, you will see those series. And so you can register for those right there. There is also a Women in Technology discussion group on the technical forums. So if you visit the technical forums, you can join the Women in Technology group discussion. You can, post things that might be top of mind for you, and that relates to women in technology. And then just be on the lookout for that mentoring program. I agree with you, Caitlin. I think this is going to be a great value add for our members. There might not always be somebody within your own organization to kind of fit that bill. And so I think having that within IAUG is going to be a great benefit. So yeah, keep your eye out for future events, and not just women in technology, but the IT and inclusion overall. We'll be looking to launch other programs, so watch for those.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the end here, or are you all set?
Now, just looking forward to seeing you guys at these meetings. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great. We're
likewise.
looking forward to having them. Awesome. Well, thank you so much.